Greetings from Bangkok. Sorry it's taken so long to update you guys on stuff, but it's been crazy busy and we haven't really had much time to just sit. And so finally had the chance today to. We've had the afternoon off, so right now it's about 6:20 p.m. So we're just hanging out here at the house we are staying at. We're staying at a missionary's house. They're actually in the U.S. right now, and so we are staying at their house while they're gone. So that's been really nice. We get to take care of their dogs, Sunny and Rainy. They're little bundles of joy, even though they can be kind of annoying sometimes with their yapping, but it's been really good. So this past week has been a lot of different things. We've spent majority of our time with Samaritan's Creations, so we're there for every day from about 8:30 or 8:15ish to 4:30, and we usually start out the morning by doing devotionals with the women upstairs, and we just kind of talk through things, sing some songs, stuff like that, and then later in the morning we work on either teaching them different English skills and strategies and stuff like that, or they teach us some Thai as well. Hello, I'm doing a video, I know, right? It's great. Do you want to say hi? Yeah! I'm just talking. This is Marina. Hi! She's my roomie slash other woman on the trip slash greatest person ever.
And cool because I just brought her Oreos.
Yes!
And peanut butter.
Oh,
so we'll feast on those.
Great. Yeah, you can add in things too if you, I was just talking about what we've been doing.
Awesome.
So, great. So yeah, we've basically been working with Samaritan's Creations, teaching them English stuff. They teach us some Thai, although they are a lot better at English than we are at Thai. We, or at least I can speak for myself, have only really learned how to say hello and thank you. So definitely have to do some more practice there. Then we usually go down and eat at this local market. There's been lots of great food. It's usually pretty spicy and sometimes a little interesting, but it's starting to grow on us, I think. Casey has not allowed us to eat American food, so it's been quite the desire whenever we see pizza or ice cream or just plain food, but I think we're actually starting to kind of like the Thai food. Yeah, one of my favorite foods here so far, I would have to say, is the papaya salad, or som tam, I believe is what it's called. And that has been very good. Otherwise, we've tried lob, which has been meat salad. Pad Thai, of course, is great. What else have we had? Lots of just pork dishes, chicken, everything. We've tried everything. So yeah, it's been really interesting. So far, none of us have gotten sick, which has been good. Although there has been some meals where we take a couple bites and choose not to eat the rest, and then Casey just eats the rest for us. So that's been fun. Back to Samaritans, we usually after lunch we'll go back, and that's kind of when the women like work on their work, and so they work at making jewelry and dolls and clothing, purses, stuff like that, and so they are so busy and they're so great, and the work that they do is just amazing, and us as a team just feel so not talented compared to them when they're making stuff, but it's been so great to be able to help them out and just get to see into their lives a little bit about what they do now and how transforming it's been, and just be able to teach them new skills and see the skills that they've been teaching us as well. And so during that time we're helping stuffing the dolls, we're helping, we kind of learned how to use the serger or the sewing machine there, but that's been a little difficult. I have done some painting classes and some art classes with the women, and also have painted a sign for them for the cafe that they also support downstairs. So that's been really fun to be able to use some of my skills in that. Yep, go for it. In providing just a way to help them. And so it's been really fun to see us as a team grow throughout even just this past week, and getting into more of a routine and stuff like that. And so that's what we do Monday through Friday. Things kind of change a little bit depending on the day, but Tuesdays and Thursdays are when we go and do outreach with another organization called Don't Nam, and there we specifically team up with their group of other students that are there for missions trips, and just their staff that work there too, to go do outreach. The girls usually go to Nana, and we reach out specifically to the ladyboy population, which is these are biologically men, so born as men but raised to be women, and so they're kind of they are a different gender in this society and known as ladyboys. And you'd think you would be able to notice, but you really can't. The biggest thing Marina and I have noticed is how is how crazy it is how much they look like women and act like women, and even to the point of feeling like, wow, they're more feminine than us. And so it's been just really crazy getting to know them, and kind of, I don't know, the first night of outreach was difficult for us, I think. Just going in to Nana, which is one of the red light districts, it's kind of set up as like a 3-story level, full of different bars and women lining the streets and the different platforms basically, and yeah, going into the bars and just seeing everything has been really tough. But we've gotten to go along with the people that have been in those bars before, and so with Dot Nam and the Ladyboys, we go into specific Ladyboy bars, which are just all Ladyboys, and they've had some relationships in some of those bars already, and so the first time we went to one that our friend had never been to before, and so it was kind of a new experience for all of us. It was really hard to stay focused just because it is so different. It's not normal at all, and so it was really hard to see the Ladyboys view themselves, with them dancing on stage with hardly anything on, and them looking at themselves in the mirrors that line the walls, and just seeing that and how much you can like see through their brokenness and their pain, and their wanting to be more beautiful than they already are all the time, even after the continuous amounts of surgeries that they've had, and just everything that they do to put into their image, yet it seems like it's never good enough. And so that was really eye-opening just to see that and realize that it's not just like it's an issue that all women and men deal with, this continuous wanting to be better, wanting to look better for people. So that was really hard. It was also really hard seeing the men come in and with just like wide-eyed, like looking at these ladyboys like they are an object to be purchased, and that's what they are to them. And so that was just so shocking. Like, they look like everyday men, whether they're local Thai men or Westerners. They look like someone's dad, like someone's grandpa, like someone's brother. Like, it just all seems too casual, which is really sad, and it kind of makes us look and see what in our society is like that. And Marina brought up a good point, that with how casual it is, it's kind of like the college scene or the going out scene in America, where we go out to the bars and girls will dress in scandalous clothing or not wear a ton of clothes, hoping to look good enough for the people that they're going to encounter that night, hoping that men will buy them drinks, with usually the intent to go home with someone. And so it's really like distorted in the way that even things like this happen in the US in such a casual way, especially at our age in college too. And so that was really, really hard to think about, and realize that that's happening even to our friends and to our peers and stuff like that. So that's how the first night of outreach went. Saw a lot of things that were really, really tough to deal with. And so it was really nice to be able to talk to the other girls that have done outreach like that before, and also just have Marina to talk to as well, because us as the women on the trip are the only ones allowed to go into the actual bars, and so it's a totally different environment than being outside of them too, because a lot goes on behind the closed curtains that is just tough. And so that's how outreach has been. We have done it, I think, 3 or 4 times now. So we go with Don't Nom on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we go with our friends at Samaritan's Creations on Friday nights. And so one night we went to a karaoke bar, which was specifically for Thai local men for the most part, and it was a really different environment than Nana's, in the way that it seemed kind of just like a normal thing to do for Thai men. You go in, it's a karaoke bar, so you go sit down, sing karaoke, hang out, drink, something that's also very casual. But the thing that was just really the most shocking, I think, was how the women were displayed, and these were women, not ladyboys, and so I think it helped relating a little bit better, and I felt, I think, more comfortable with knowing what to ask and like how to talk to them, and just see them as someone just like myself. And so that was really tough, because as you walk in, these women are in this like fishbowl arena thing where they're sitting watching TV or playing, or like on their phones, just waiting for a man to pick them. And so yeah, they wait, and once they get picked, they go and change into their scandalous clothing, and we'll go and sit with the men in the karaoke bar for however long the man pleases. And if he wants to purchase her, he can purchase her for a couple hours at the actual place and have a separate room, or they can take them home as well. And so yeah, it was a different environment, because at the same, part of me felt like, yeah, this is so fun, like we're singing, we're having a good time and stuff like this, and the 2 girls that we got to talk to were just really shy, and they were so young. They just looked so vulnerable and so broken, and the difference, I think, between these women and the ladyboys is the ladyboys tended to kind of fake it, I guess, in the way that they acted, or they seemed like they really liked doing what they do, and did everything to make sure you were happy, versus where these women, you could kind of just see right through it, which was really hard. So yeah, that was the karaoke bar experience. And then we went to Soy Cowboy this past Friday, and that was probably one of the most, for me at least, one of the most rewarding and hard nights, I guess. Sarah, she is a volunteer at Samaritan's Creations, and Tom and I went into a bar, and we got to talk to 4 women there, which was really cool, and they were all different ages as well. And so it's one of the bars that specifically kind of lets anyone come in. And so there's girls that are older, there's girls that are not necessarily the prettiest in the world's eye. There's young girls, there's skinny girls, there's bigger girls. Like, it doesn't really discriminate in the way of the women that work there. And so when we got there, we noticed a woman who was sitting in the corner by herself, not really doing anything, looking really upset. And we decided we wanted to talk to her, and so we took her, and she came and talked to us, and she really started having a fun time, just getting to know us and just joking with us, and we got to joke with her, and eventually a couple more of her friends came along, and we got to sing and dance with them, and so that was really fun, to just be a woman with these women, because they didn't have to like perform. Like, it was like they were having fun with their friends, and that was really cool to be able to be a part of, and just see like genuine smiles on their faces, and them being able to kind of block out the other customers that were there and just have fun with us in just a innocent and joyful way, I guess. But it was really hard too, because we got to hear a little bit of their stories as well. And there was an older woman that I talked to who had been there for almost 15 years, and so I could just see like the shame and the brokenness in her, in the way that she interacted with other customers. Like, being one of the older women, she has kids who are like mid-30s already, and so she has to be pushing at least mid-50s maybe, and so you could just see her comparing herself to the younger girls. She would try to get customers' attention by either going to say hi to them, or like sit by them and kind of flirt with them. But it was even sadder when those men would ignore her completely. And so just had the chance to just really tell her like how beautiful she is, and how yeah, so that was tough, seeing how long she's been there and just imagining the bondage that she feels to that bar and to working in this environment. So I'm really just praying that she that her heart will just start to see that longing for more, because I think she would just love the environment at Samaritan's Creations and the women there. She would fit right in, and I know that for sure. The other part was really hard was I talked to another girl who was my age, and she is going to the university here, and she basically is just working in the bars. She's been there for 7 weeks, and she is basically just working there because her family is having some issues, and she needs to earn money for them, and she said, as soon as the problem is done, I will stop working here. And as good as that is to hear, it's also sad, because that's the reality of most of these women, that they come in with needing money for their families, needing money for different issues that are going on, and they say once they stop that they'll stop working there, but most of the times that's not the case. And so seeing her and how young she is, and just how smart she is, and like how much more potential she has, and I don't know if she necessarily sees that, but we could definitely see it in her, which was hard. So that has been outreach. Outreach has been a time of growth, a time of reflection on what really matters, a time of realizing that there is a lot of brokenness in this world, a time of realizing that America is not ruler of the world. The reality we live in America is a small minority of what the reality of the rest of the world is. And also just like a time of spiritual warfare too. Satan has really been impacting me in different ways throughout outreach, which has been tough, but I know that in those places and in those bars, like, God is not absent from there, and he, although it is dark, he still has his presence there in some way. So yeah, that's been outreach. About last week, we got to go visit Pastor Gong's farm, which was really fun. We got to go see what they do as a church to help support different farmers and the different churches in the area by planting fig trees, and the figs were absolutely delicious. As well as we got to feed some deer, which was really fun. We've been, we got to go to a zoo one day, which was so much different than American zoos as well, because of the way they treat their animals and how they are contained, and like, it was just really hard because we all coming from the US, I think see animal cruelty in a much different way. And so it was interesting to see the zoo in Thailand. But it was a lot of fun. We got to see elephants and crocodiles, lots of crocodiles, snakes, deer, zoo animals, I guess. So that was really fun. We have met with quite a few Thai friends here, which has been really fun, getting to know them and experiencing the culture a little more. We've gone to many markets. The markets have been great. The stuff is so cheap here, which is so nice, but there's so many markets as well, and so it's hard to choose, oh yeah, these things are cute here, but you know, I'm probably going to find some down the road that maybe will be cheaper too, and so we haven't really bought much yet, which has probably been a good thing, but looking to hopefully find a place that we can get some souvenirs as well while we're here. One of the last things that I really just want to share, I guess, is the children here have really, I think, impacted me more, not more, but impacted me in ways that I didn't necessarily expect. Like, I've always loved children so much, but seeing them here and seeing them in a different environment where they aren't as protected and they aren't viewed the same as we necessarily view them, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just different, has been really tough. And so just seeing these kids who are neglected and abused and abandoned and without parents or without care, without food necessarily, has been so heartbreaking. Especially, we've gone and done the children's program in the slums again, which has been really fun, and getting to see the children, their faces light up when we walk in, and them coming to us just swadika, swadika, and they're just so happy, and they are so full of joy even though they have so little. Like, their little feet don't have shoes, some of them don't have proper clothing, proper nutrition, like proper shelter. It's just all these things we take for granted, I think, which has been really hard because I look at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do these kids live in this? Like, this is child neglect. But at the same time, like, these people aren't able to properly care because of the poverty that they're living in. And so that's just really stirred up some stuff in me that makes me angry, makes me sad, disappointed, at what we place our priorities in America, and these things that we don't need. We look at material things and buying all these things and eating way too much food, and then looking at these children and seeing that they don't even have enough food to eat a meal or two a day. And I knew that ahead of time, but I think seeing it definitely makes it a lot harder and makes it more real. Another thing, there's a lot of, especially at night around the red light districts, there's a lot of children that are out on the streets either by themselves, begging for money, or with a parent or an older sibling, that are just sitting on the sides of these dirty streets, just begging. And especially the ones who have been with the parents, I had noticed that they are always like sleeping and always just like passed out, and I always was kind of like surprised by that because it's such a busy city and everything's always happening, and so it just didn't make sense to understand why these kids would be sleeping during all this. But then one of my friends here told me that a majority of those kids that are sleeping are drugged by either parents or the mafia here. They're controlled. They, yeah. So that's been really tough. And also, there are kids that walk around the streets trying to sell flowers, trying to sell different souvenirs, food, anything, to taxi drivers and tourists, and other people as well, to try to gain some money. And if they don't sell their quota by the end of the day, I don't know what happens, but I know it's not good. And so it really sucks seeing these kids and not being able to help in every way, because I want to help all of them and I know I can't. And that's been probably one of the hardest things, is just seeing these vulnerable, small children with no hope, like at this rate, no future, no education, no shelter, stuff like that, and they're just alone. And I want to do something about that. Yeah, it just really pulls on my heart in different ways than I expected. So yeah, pray for the kids. Different prayer requests. Yeah, pray for the children here. The impact that we're making, even in the slums with the children's program, is so great to see. These little kids singing about Jesus, and seeing the hope that he can offer them, and being able to see that God provides for them and stuff like that is so great. And just getting to explain that to them from a strong Buddhist society. And so just really sharing that hope at such a young age, and telling them about Jesus has been really great. So yeah, pray for the children, pray for our team as we head out to Laos this next Friday. And also just the work that we'll be doing this last week. It's going to be a busy week, a hard week as well, because it's one of our last weeks at Samaritans with the women. And so we're really hoping to just make it really intentional. And so, yeah, pray for that. Pray for the women, obviously, in the bars and the outreach that we'll be doing, that they would just have a longing for something more, and that God would just truly reign over them with his love. I can't share names, but the faces of these women are in my head constantly, and their hurts, their pains, what we can see in them. I would hope that they would see that as well, and see the hope that Jesus can bring. And so we've been having a great time here so far. Don't get me wrong, it's been hard, but there's been so many rewarding experiences as well. There's a lot I probably missed because we have done so much, but just know we are safe, we are healthy, we're staying strong in the Lord, and we are just so blessed by the people we've been able to serve and come alongside. And yeah, so it's really been a great experience. Sorry this has been so long. There's just so much to say, and I didn't want to write about it all because it's so hard to truly put into words, I guess, or written down words about how I'm feeling and what's been happening. So hope you enjoyed. I will try to update soon. Goodbye.